አምላካችን ክብሩ ይስፋ ምስጋናውም ይንሰራፋ ሰዶልናል።
My ears wake up first. In those few minutes in the purgatory between asleep and awake, I struggle to recognize the chanting that wafts into my room. In the midst of one particularly resonant sound, the origin of the voice becomes apparent. Ethiopian Orthodox morning prayers, ululating from one church or another, guiding the faithful through their daily ritual. I roll onto my side and out of bed, reaching for a sweater to dull the morning chill. I walk towards the bathroom and initiate my own morning routine, the same one I've had for years. Lather soap, wash hair, grab towel, dry off. Soap, hair, towel, dry. Since I've come to Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, to work at the World Food Program through a Princeton in Africa fellowship, not much feels familiar. The normalcy of my routine, the control I have over the process, is comforting. I check my watch. 8:03 a.m. I grab my bag and keys and unlock the door, the lock set emblazoned with "Made in Italy," a product of Ethiopia's occupation, not colonization, as any patriot is proud to explain. The sour, yeasty scent of injera, traditional Ethiopian bread, immediately reaches me. I carefully navigate past the dirty black dog curled up by the door, spitting "whoosha," dog, under my breath. The sunshine hits me. I greet whichever neighbor happens to be outside today, waving my hand with a quick "salam," grateful for how quickly the community has embraced this Ferengi, or foreigner. Before I arrived in Addis, I worried my privilege, my house, my clothes, my food, my job, would set me apart. It did, but because I felt so different from my neighbors, I was inspired to find ways to bridge the gap by learning Amharic or opting for local businesses instead of Ferengi haunts. I close the gate behind me with a clang and entice the other whoosha back into the compound after a night of debauchery in the neighborhood. The dull pulsating of morning prayers has been usurped by Rihanna, blasting from the school down the street. The school plays music to start the day, sometimes traditional Ethiopian songs, but often American music by Snoop Dogg or Beyoncé. Like the Pied Piper, students follow American culture down the cobblestone street in their black and white uniforms. I weave through my monochromatic friends and reach the corner, where Abe stands outside of his cinder block house. He proudly surveys the comings and goings on the street, usually without pants. Abe puts his 2-year-old hands on his hips and leans back to watch 3 garbage cleaners walking behind a huge metal box on wheels, their heads covered in sombrero-like straw hats, their mouths and noses covered in scarves like ninjas to keep away the smell. Abe spots me and runs over, abandoning his watch. "In debt now? Tades?" I greet him. "Denaning," he replies, surprisingly softly for a kid with such a seemingly big personality. He extends his hand and kisses me 3 times. Right cheek, left, right. We hold hands and walk down the street, my mind grasping at its limited Amharic vocabulary to make conversation. We reach the corner and say our goodbyes. "Melkam Sara," good luck at work, Abe always says. And I watch as his bare bottom toddles over to the men smoking cigarettes outside of the corner store. Drivers sitting in a line of cars behind a minibus lay on their horns. I steer myself through passing traffic to the bus stop, hoping the conductor will risk the ticket from the traffic police for an overfilled bus. Kazanchis! The conductor leans out the window of the minibus, hollering its destination. It's my lucky day. The conductor directs me to the third row of seats, already fully occupied. I perch on the side of the bench, holding the ceiling and balancing my bag while pulling out my 1 1/4 birr, less than 10 cents in US dollars. The radio blares. We pass taxi drivers sitting in the cafe waiting for their next fare, drinking buna, coffee, and chewing chat. My favorite vegetable stand appears on my left, Yosef, the owner, reading a book in Amharic as usual. Then we hit the shops, groceries, electronics, internet cafes, dry cleaners, bars, restaurants, hotels. A city of resourceful entrepreneurs selling anything anyone might want to buy. More people flood the street as we near our destination, waiting in line to fill jerry cans of gas at the petrol station that may or may not have gas for sale. Standing before butchers with huge goats hanging from hooks in their stores. Sitting on the street in tattered clothes and chanting religious sayings, faithful even as they hold out their hands. I push my way out of the bus, and I wait until 8:03 tomorrow.